If I never said it before, Heather, my favorite family of hip-hop.
You said it. You said this.
My favorite family of hip-hop are here today. I tell you, man, these folks changed my life. They enhanced my life. They amplified my life. They helped me see my life through bigger lenses.
Beautiful.
I was able to identify my life in a way that was oblivious to myself.
Speak on it.
And tell these good, kind people, out the kindness of their heart, for no other reason but wanting me to have this experience, invited me to come over to Africa, to Ghana, y'all. Get us a big round of applause right here. For an amazing event, the Black Star Line Festival, that was rooted in proprietorship, independence, economics, education, medicine, all of these things that we strive for our people, is what it stood and still stands for. I went to Ghana. It felt like I was there for 2 or 3 weeks.
Me too.
And I was only there for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the experience I was able to have. None other like it in my career have I experienced what I experienced with his father, Ken, who was here, his mom. I got a chance to meet his mom. I met her before, I think, at SNL.
Yeah.
But we got a chance to vibe.
Yeah.
In Ghana, in Accra.
That sounds amazing.
And this young man was, when I went to the event, 50,000 people showed up to this event in Accra that the Bennett family put together.
Our people.
50,000 people. Beautiful. I led it in Ghana, and I didn't feel like I was black. I know that sounds crazy.
That's real. I was talking about that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll explain that. Let's dive into that momentarily. But I want to say, since this man put out the Taylor Bennett show back in 2013, come on, man. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
Forever,
When he released his debut album, all the different things, Broad Shoulders, which he's had broad shoulders to stand on. His legacy is cemented. His bloodline is royal. His father, as a community activist, his parents have always done good work for the community, for the people, and it translated down to their sons. Chance the Rapper, who's incredible, as we do know, and this young man who had to come under all of that energy. His parents are famous in the community. His brother is one of the most famous people in hip-hop, and then here he comes.
Yeah, man.
Determined, as little brothers are.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Yeah, that's what we are.
That's what we are, younger brothers, transparent in such a brave way as he talked, as we watched him evolve as a human being, and as he explored different aspects of himself, his personality, his sexuality, his intellectuality, all the different things that we watched evolved. And even though he came under his brother's spotlight, he carved out his own light. You should have saw this man in Accra when he was managing this. He was such a boss out there. Oh my God. You know, he was such a boss. I remember coming to the sound check, I think it was, and I saw him on stage with a microphone pointing people out, and I came out on stage, and we took a picture of that moment. Right?
That moment,
I was so proud of you, Taylor.
Thank you, man.
I was extremely proud of you, and I felt like they can't kick me out. I'm with the boss.
I was the boss.
They
We'll
can't
shut it down.
They shut it down. They could kick. They gave me free reign, Heather. I was out there. People
Did you try to grab a mic and get on the show too and be extra?
I did. Chance came up to me at one point. Taylor, no.
Needed it. What?
Yeah, both of them were surrounding me. Hey, Sway, we need you to go out there and talk to the crowd.
We instantly surrounded him.
I said, hey, it's 50,000, y'all. What y'all want me to say? Right? It's 50,000. And your brother did something that made me laugh, but it also made me respect him because of the respect he had for me. Chance went, I said, what you want me to say? I swear, do what you do, man. You got it.
No, literally, I was in that moment. But it made sense to me, too, because you said 50,000 people. I'm like, if there's anybody here that's used to talking to 50,000 people at a time, it's that guy. It made sense, man.
It made sense, right?
You're a perfect dude. But go ahead.
No, let me introduce who's here, ladies and gentlemen. This dude is, He's a well-rounded individual, beautiful human being, incredible artist.
Yes.
You cannot put him in a box. You cannot stereotype, pigeonhole, or marginalize him. He's here today, the visionary himself. Give it up for the one and only Taylor Bennett.
Man, it feels good to be home, man.
Bro,
like,
this is your home.
no, this is really like a home. Like every time I sit in this chair, like I get excited whenever I come to New York, even if I'm not coming to the show, just because I know there's so much history that lies in not just my career, but my growth. And like we talked about my family, like, you know, like I was on here before I had children. I talked about having children. I was on here before I was comfortable in my sexuality. And afterwards, I was on here when I was just an artist and then managing Chance. So it's just a thing. And I say this to you too. I've always felt like I knew you before I met you. And you were, and I've said this before too, and I'm sure a lot of people agree, the most genuine person that I had ever seen on TV, because I spent a lot of time with you in my living room, and you always, just the way that you speak, like the way that you come across to people has always been on like this level, you know? So meeting you being that person and then getting to learn and know you more, there's nothing more I could ask than, you know, you being a part of the family. So like,
Hey man.
That's so beautiful.
Once you ask me to be a part, you can't ask me to be out. So I'm here.
Once you're a family, you can't never know.
Thank you, man. I'm proud to be a part of your legacy, man. I
Thank
feel
you,
good
man.
about that. I've been a part of a few legacies, Heather, as you know.
Like who?
Tupac, maybe. I don't know. Big. Jay-Z, Nas, name them all. His brother.
Right? Yo, me.
Yeah. Now Taylor Bennett, you know, Chicago, most of their artists, all of them.
Housewife.
All of them.
Their cousin Kanye, they're all related.
Comment, all of them.
Dirk, they're all related. Chicago artists, all related.
All related. We all cousins.
Big-ass
All
family.
cousins,
Big
man.
ass family, for real.
Taylor, thank you. Kenny, thank you. Thank you to Chance, to your mom for that trip. I've been talking about it for 2 years, bro.
For real.
Wow, me too, man.
Yeah. It was an amazing trip. We all shared in it.
But why did you both agree that you didn't feel black when you landed? What was that feeling about, though?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. Well, I'll go first just because I don't know what you're gonna say, and I don't want what you're gonna say to influence.
Right.
But what I thought this way was gonna say is, you know, like growing up in Chicago, especially like an inner city, like it's very rare that you're surrounded by just black people, right? And usually for me, like when I was surrounded by black people in my neighborhood, it was not at the same standard of when I would travel outside of my neighborhood to go to other places. So there's almost like this, and I'll just say it, like I think there's an ideology that also lives throughout media and TVs and commercials and music and all these different things that, for me, I'll just say personally, kind of made me fear myself. So like when I was growing up, it wasn't very often, like I said, that either I was in a room full of black people or I was in a room full of white people. It was always kind of like a little bit of a mix. So when I got to Ghana, it was the first time. And then also, just to even bring it back to the TV stuff, like, and you know, I'll be crazy, but I'll be kind of looking at stuff. Like a lot of the shows that I watched growing up, like all of the extras, if they were black and they were grown, they were like janitors, or they were like it wasn't a lot of, we were just talking about the show the other day, not just Good Times, but what's the Moving On Up? He was like one of the few, like, I got a business, I got the cleaner living in the building with me. Like everyone else that I saw on TV was presented in like a certain way. So when I went to Africa, not only on TV, but also in real life, it wasn't that often outside of probably my dad that I would see black men, black women working not just at the general spaces, but controlling everything. Like every single person when I got off was black. And it was a very interesting thing because at then one point I was like, shit, I don't even feel like I have to say that I'm black.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that was a crazy feeling because everyone around me was black. And the only thing I could think next to it was like, not only do I have to leave and I'm not going to feel like this again, but this must be what the majority of other people that aren't black feel like in America. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird, man. And not just America, in a lot of other places.
Yeah, that part. One of the things that y'all did that I thought was really impressive is you guys hired all the workers.
100%.
How many people did y'all have to hire, you think, overall?
Man, I can't speak to like a specific number, but definitely in the high thousands. We had vendors, we had individuals that worked on
Can you
set.
speak
We
to
had
the
Kenny
folks
Bennett is
that-
here, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
He's
I would say when Taylor brings up, the fact that if you add the vendors, so one thing that was important that Chance's vision was that we need to make sure that the businesses, the local businesses,
yeah.
can participate. And there was no charge to them in terms of coming in, just bring your business in.
Wow.
We just had to go through a process of being registered and everything, was in order. And then you talk about the
stages,
the staging, the engineers, the production folks,
backlining,
security.
Yeah.
So if you talk, I was going to say I know it's in the hundreds that we hired, but again, it's over 50,000. I think one number said 56,000.
was free.
But
So
there
it's
we
like,
go. That's the thing.
That's a
Everybody
big
who came, it was a free festival.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was
Chance
his
paid
vision.
for
Yeah.
all of it. It was
So
a free
beautiful.
festival. Paid for,
He paid for us to be there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He
He
did.
paid the
for me to be
artist, the
there.
owner,
Yeah,
paid
he
for
did.
Taylor to be.
He paid,
Yeah,
and
I
people
was
really,
there working.
people don't really know that. But he
Wow.
wanted to do this to bring our people together from around the world.
The whole diaspora.
The whole
100%.
diaspora.
And while oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
See, I'm sorry. Because we get to talking and we forget we on the show. I just wanted to say while we're on that topic and while we're talking about, just that vision of the Black Star Line, I think that, when we talk about Chance and we see the different things that he's done throughout his career, whether it's like the Grammys or entering the Billboard with acid rap when it wasn't even, it's always things that are very new, and he's always the first to do it. And I think that when it comes to the Black Star Line, a big piece of myself not only was very happy, but also very inspired by the trip. And some of the greatest artists have the ability to share their platform and expand the perception of their listeners.
Yes.
So going into this album and what it's sounding like, shout out to my brother Chance the Rapper, I just want y'all to know that that feeling of those 50,000 people, it's there. Like, it's musically there, the story, the narrative is there, and that's just the beginning. So I did just want to make sure that I said that and shouted out Chance, because he did just drop a brand new record as well as me, Buried Alive, last Thursday.
Yeah, we play it.
And it's going hard.
Yeah,
Look, there we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
He's killing it too on that.
He's doing it, right?
He's talking on that.
Bro, nah, he's. Ooh, I gotta send you some of these
and you
other
know what?
joints.
Sway our brother plays his role down. So, it was always from the very beginning known that it was important to
For
us to
Sway.
see whether or not if Sway would be willing to come with us. Because what people don't understand is at the level, I always call him the Godfather.
Yeah.
You just said that in the
the
hallway.
Godfather.
I gotta
Just
tell you.
whenever I talk about you, I tell to everybody, you are the Godfather. You've opened the door for all of these
All of
artists
us.
for generations.
generations.
Oh wow.
For generations.
This is Taylor's interview.
know?
Man. Come on.
And sometimes when you need, some people walk into the room where they get involved, they bring legitimacy.
Yeah.
They bring legitimacy.
Yeah.
So I wasn't surprised. I wasn't there when at that particular moment when Chance said,
Chance
"You
happened.
got it," because
But he was
because
involved in all the front hand.
we knew. Oh my God,
Yeah.
man! Listen, do you remember that you did something where you were interviewing
You did the
folks?
interview, did you?
All the cameras were around you.
Uh-huh.
Do you
That was
remember?
the
I
whole
think
thing.
I'm trying to
When
remember.
was this? Oh,
So
backstage?
remember, so the reason why we had you come out there, it was a big deal. No, it was a big deal. And I know, but I understand, because again, how many interviews do you do? But and the biggest thing, to my dad's point, was always the understanding of the impact, again, growing up, watching you in my living room, that you have on the community,
Yes.
and also the respect that you have and the legitimacy that you bring to
Thank you, brother.
the genre.
Thank
So
I'm thinking you don't even see it, man. You walk down the hallway at the hotel, how folks look at you.
People
and
start
how
walking behind
young
you. I feel
artists,
like I'm
old
looking at a
artists,
little-
people, period, want to be in your
picture,
presence.
old school picture.
So I'm
That
just
was
saying,
happening at the hotel?
this was
Dude,
happening at the
yes.
hotel.
I listen,
I
man.
didn't know that.
You're so humble that
It
you
happens
don't
in the
pay it.
hallways. It's
Here.
serious.
Here, I was gonna say, people don't try.
'Cause you're so
definitely
humble.
Times Square.
He doesn't understand,
Yeah.
Kenny, because I think that Sway, he was so excited to go. And I think for us being his work family, as well, the build up and the
my God,
excitement, he
yes.
was just so excited to be there. He didn't know what to expect, but he knew he was going with good people,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
you
Wow.
automatically know that you're protected and you're safe and your spirit is safe.
He's family.
Family.
He's family.
Yeah.
He's protected my sons, and listen, I've always seen what he's done for artists. I mean, basically generations of artists, you know, but I talk about, you know, legitimizing or giving legitimacy. His presence when he walks, everybody pays attention. I can't even understand how you don't remember all those cameras around you. There was a period I came.
No, it was crazy. We
You
had
don't
a
even
crane.
remember.
There was a
period you were talking.
So
and all
you came
those,
out there, and
love
it
this
was
for
the
you,
middle of the
Sway.
day. It was before the festival even started, and we sat down in the middle of the
I
field,
stopped-
and Chance had his whole
I
camera
stopped
team.
the
He
sound
was the
check.
one. He was like, "I want." Yeah,
That's
he
right.
stopped the
I
sound
stopped
check.
the
He was
sound
like,
check
"Chance
because
needs to
you
go
were
do this."
talking.
And yeah,
I ran up
and
on
you're
the
like, "This is
stage
too
and stopped
loud."
the soundtrack
Yeah.
check because
And
you
it
were
wasn't.
talking.
It wasn't Chance's sound check. It was another artist's sound check. We was
It
like, "Yo,
was-
y'all gonna have to calm down."
No, it was Toby and
It was
Wigways.
Toby. You remember.
Hey, Toby, we love you though.
We love Toby.
When you said that, I had to stop the sound check. I know exactly what you're talking about. We
Yeah.
was on the side.
I ran
Yep.
up there and I'm like, I'm sorry. I love y'all. The Godfather's talking right now.
Oh, wow.
If y'all can give me just a few moments, I promise, because you were talking.
Exactly.
But we appreciate what they did at the concert. Their performance was outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Top
man.
tier.
That was shout out to Toby and Wigway and all the
Fat.
performers
And
that
Fat.
was
Yeah,
there.
everybody.
It was incredible. Kenny, thank you, brother.
That's
I
beautiful to
really,
say.
I really appreciate that. And to answer your question too, Heather, it's exactly what Taylor said. When I landed, I saw the flight attendant, the pilot, the person who drive the taxi,
Everybody.
the person at the
Yeah.
hotel. They check you in, the police officer, everything.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessary to be, you know, that construct.
That
feel
construct.
black.
Take
construct.
that, Yep.
Black, that word, that's a construct. I don't know,
Yeah.
it was the 1500s, 1600s when it was introduced. And I'm talking, I shouldn't be talking like this.
But I feel you.
You
And
feel,
I agree with you.
and that was to give people, that's how they kept us separated. You know,
Exactly.
when I was in Ghana, I felt Ghanaian.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he
Dad
came
just said
back.
that last night.
Yeah.
and
He
been
came
for
back
2
and
years.
started walking
Yeah.
down the hallways around here screaming the black man is God.
Yep.
And then we had to like hide because we
Yeah.
were like, we're all gonna get fired.
And then he had a new name. Kanye.
Then he had a new
name
name.
was
Was Kanye.
Oh, that was my name.
Because
Listen,
then this
every time
came-
I talk, they would play this. We play this. Hey, welcome to the show, citizens. Blah blah. We play the drums, right? All right, man.
Black
Anyway,
man is God.
Black man is God, man. Hey, man. Welcome Taylor and Kenny back to the show.
Hey!
Yes, sir.
So this new project is fueled by this Ghanaian experience.
Kind of like, yeah, definitely. I think in terms of like the self-expression and just the openness. I think the idea to be willing to create in a different space and to be uncomfortable. And I know you know, like the latest project that I put out, the Coming of Age project, was in that same vein. So like traveling there, I was already expressing myself from a space of openness. But then when I went to Ghana, and this was a big thing, and you guys know this, and that's why I'm so happy that we're having this conversation today, I was inspired to do more research on the history of Black music. So I know last time that the main thing that basically inspired the previous project, Coming of Age, before this new single, Too Much, was the idea of looking into the roots of Chicago. So you got Records Row, you got Muddy Waters, you got all of these like amazing Chicago business owners that were Black and that were totally killing the music industry. And then what happened when I went to Ghana, and that's what had inspired me to get into rock and roll and to feel comfortable. Because I think a lot of times, and I was talking about this with a friend of mine yesterday, when you hear rock music, even though that's some shit, Chuck Berry, that's us. Like, we made that, right? But we have gotten to a point where some of the greatest rock and roll artists are not Black. And if it's not like, I think it was like the Rolling Stones that like paid homage to Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters, then a lot of them don't speak about it. And it's almost become a thing where rock music isn't ours. So I felt weird even going into it. And then I got that, you know, that inspiration to do it. But then when I went to Ghana, I was also, and this is what you guys are going to like, I was getting back into hip hop. I started to write hip hop music.
I was going to ask you that.
Because one of the reasons why I started doing the alternative rock is, like you said, I do believe that a lot of institutionalized, systematic realities are made as a construct, right? So like I do feel like me only listening to hip hop music and only doing things that I felt like I should do based off representations of things I'd see in the media was limiting me from experiencing
Boxing you in.
As a full artist,
as a full person, like fuck even a full artist, like as a person, the music that I was constantly taking in was only a fraction of what the real world was, but it was what people wanted me to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I had a conversation, shout out to an amazing artist and journalist from Chicago named Cody Mack, he was like, yo, I see all the success you're having, I love it. He was like, but I feel like you can pull some of that positivity from hip hop, and I think that we really need you. And I was like, hip hop needs me. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. That's the Batman signal. And I immediately, like, no cap. But this was all, like you said, it was very much inspired by the trip. And also, like, you know, the music and those different things. But immediately after that, when I came back to Chicago, I was like, yo, and you guys know this, my favorite rapper is Jay-Z. And, you know, like, I love his raps, but I also love him as a businessman.
Of
so,
course.
like, I've always been a fan of how authentic and organic he painted Marcy.
Yeah.
And how the feelings, I believe one of the reasons why Jay-Z was so successful is because at a time of fast food in the industry, he was really cooking. And he was really not just from the music, but the videos were on point. Everybody had you had to have the Rockaware, the shit on the
clothing
jackets.
lines,
And if you weren't, you in the
sneakers.
the license plates, the sneakers.
The alcohol.
And a lot of that stuff, even though like he still does it, he was doing that before he had all the funds to really do it, but he understood the idea of perception and also serving your listeners and your audience the best that you can. And people feel that. Like when you eat food, you
Give them what
taste
they
that.
want to eat.
And I felt like for me being independent, there's a perspective of Chicago that's only a certain space that's been shown, and that includes myself as well. But the history of Chicago, and I know you guys know this, like house music, it started with Frankie Knuckles, and ghetto house music, and then juking and footworking, that has a history of over 40 plus 50 years. Like, and something that we talk about all the time that's super interesting for hip hop too, and this is what really made me do the new record and all these other records that I got coming, is like, when I was young, my mom used to love the Love Below, like the Outkast record, but because it was kind of explicit, she didn't play it in the car. So like when we would get home, she would usually play it maybe in her bedroom or somewhere else, or I hear it while she's cleaning and we're laying down. I love Lil Wayne. I couldn't play that shit in my dad's car.
Really?
Right?
You couldn't? Yeah.
No, because it was too explicit.
Go
you
DJ?
know?
What about
So,
okay.
Go DJ? Yeah, no, I feel you. I wanted to play that, especially in the car.
That's an easy
But-
one.
Kenny was like, nah.
Basically bringing that up to
How to
say
love? Not even how to love?
Right.
Or-
what the love for the creative did for me and my family, and I don't think it's just us, is there was kind of a generational disconnect, and there was a separation that was happening every time we entertained ourselves based off the fact that we didn't feel comfortable getting this entertainment or showing it with each other. Juke music is something, and not even just juke music, but ghetto house music, and especially footworking are all things that are nostalgic to Chicagoans, and we see them at a very early age. So like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Bud Billiken Parade, but in Chicago, there's a parade on the south side of Chicago.
The
That's
what?
held-
The what parade?
It's called the Bud Billiken Parade.
Okay.
Really, you could call it the Bud for short, right?
Okay.
But the whole idea is that it's a parade on the south side, and there's all these different organizations. Some are drill teams. So for anybody that's not familiar with drill teams, they kind of have these different drills that they do with, like, I just posted one on my Instagram too, by the
Okay.
way.
I just saw that. All right.
There we go. So you know what I'm talking about. Anybody else that don't, go check it out, right?
Give out your Instagram.
At Taylor Bennett. Make sure y'all check it out. It's a great example. But footworking, the bands, a lot of, I would say, similarities if you've never been to Bud Billiken of maybe what you would see at like a HBCU performance or a battle of the bands. So it's all about the drums. It's all about the movement. And it's a very community organized thing that happens every year, and it means the world to Chicago. So like, these different things have been going on so long within Chicago that after I had gotten past like the Muddy Waters and the Sam Cookes, and I was in an understanding of something that directly related to me, because when I was a kid, we threw juke parties.
Yeah.
So like juke parties, all you need is a basement and some strobe lights and some tracks or some ghetto house music, which could be, you guys might be more familiar with like DJ Cashmere. He made the Percolator.
Yep, of
Like
course.
The percolator.
Classic.
Yeah.
Make way for
So,
the
like,
percolator.
that was like kind of the moving from house music to more of that. And then
What did
you
they?
had
That's what they call ghetto. What did they call that? Percolator.
ghetto. So
What would that
technically,
fall
the
under?
genre would fall under ghetto house music.
Ghetto house, okay.
Because juke music there's no real such thing as juke music. It's more of like the environment and the way that you dance.
So
the
King
things
Charles, for example.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Shout out King
Come on,
Charles.
man. Y'all know
Okay.
I know, man. Come on,
I know
man.
you know. I know you know. Shout out
This,
King
man.
Charles,
Come on.
man.
King Charles, man. So, for example,
Yeah.
that culture, is that footwork or is that
That's
juke?
footworking.
Okay.
So but technically, footworking started off in the juke culture, and then it expanded in the same way that juke expanded from ghetto house music into something that's its own community. So there's a lot of people. Shout out to them that are
King
go
Charles,
footworkers.
incredible.
King Charles,
He's been
shout out
spreading it around the
Ace.
world. Yep.
Yeah. Shout out Tech. Shout out. Shout out Man. Shout out Sub-Zero. Shout out all the guys that pulled up to my party last Saturday. I threw a big ass juke party. So that's what we're doing with this too. Is like the idea is like I was saying.
Oh, I like this.
It's about building the community, right? So like we're throwing these parties like almost every other weekend, and they're cracking, and they're juke parties, and it's all about people coming out and dancing and having a good time. But it's also our people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's also about us capturing and now having the ability to push this content to the mainstream. Because for Chicago, like juke culture, footwork culture, house music culture, it means the world to us. And I think sometimes what I'm seeing is that some people don't know that yet, and it's always about showing the whole Chicago. So again, like kind of in the same way that Jay-Z was like, I'm gonna show an authentic way of New York, it inspired me to say, I'm gonna open this studio. We're gonna have 3 studio sessions open at a time. We invited all Chicago producers, all Chicago artists, all Chicago directors, all Chicago graphic designers, and we packed out this studio every Sunday for about 12 Sundays with probably like 50 to 60 people. And that also came as a challenge. And I don't think this idea just exists in Chicago, but I was having the same or another conversation with Cody Mack where he was saying that he felt like maybe I was just different, and the way that which I agree, everybody's different, but the way that I viewed going after certain things was different than the grind that other people had. And I was like, nah. I was like, people just don't have the access. You know what I'm saying? So that was also a challenge that we did to do that. And he executive produced and helped me work with it along with Chris Minto, my father, and Zakor, Forever Man. Shout out to him. But overall, the whole idea was like, we're going to do this for Chicago, by Chicago, and we're going to paint an authentic vision. And then shout out to the director, D. Gaines, the legend, that worked with Chief Keef and did I Don't Like and did Lil Durk and Louis. And he was and still is like the most legendary director from Chicago.
Say his name.
D. Gaines.
Man, bring him up here.
Gaines.
Tell
No,
D.
we
Gaines.
definitely gonna bring
Tell
D.
D.
Gaines
Gaines,
up
come
here.
on up, man.
For
So,
sure.
what the name of the project is?
The name of the brand new record is Too Much, and it's featuring King Louis and Lala Too Much, and we calling it a Chicago record, and it's getting cracking right now.
All right, we're going to play that in a second. Shout out
Yes,
to King
sir.
Louis. Our first broadcast. I remember the first time I went
Shout
to
out King
Chicago to do a
Louis,
broadcast. King Louis
Yes, sir.
came through, man. I always see him. Every time I would go to Chicago, I'll see him.
He's Chicago, man.
All right, listen, you got some people on the line.
Yep.
A lot of
love.
people.
Let's go through them. Fellas, people, quick question. We got Ryan on the line. What's up, Ryan? Go
What
ahead,
up,
man.
Ryan?
Hey,
What's
Ryan.
Hey. I
What
just want to
up?
say, man, I totally agree with what Taylor is doing. Sway, you are the hip-hop godfather. You have been a documentarian for Juke. I don't know if you remember 18 years ago, you came to Chicago and did My Block Chicago, and you gave us that spotlight. And here we are 18 years later. We're
Wow.
here 18 years later with Taylor about to take it to the next level and making America Juke again.
Make
because,
America
you know,
Juke
Juke-
again.
Juke Juke and footwork is an expression of and emotions for Chicagoans, right? It encompasses the pain, the trauma, the happiness, the success that we have here. It's that physical outlet that Chicagoans have to be able to let go. So, it also speaks to that blues and that gospel culture that we have here in Chicago. And for him to put a spotlight on it and really just amplify Juke culture, it is time. it is time. It's been a long time coming, and I'm so happy, little bro, that you are doing this for the
Hey,
city.
we here.
I'm
We at the
40
top of
years
the
old,
charts.
and we've been
I
waiting.
was Sway.
We've been
We
waiting.
bring in the whole Chicago culture to the front lens. That's what we doing. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
calling
Chicago,
in.
we up.
I am here to support you.
Hey,
I'm here
Ryan.
to support you, Taylor.
You
Yes.
were in that doc. You were in the doc.
Yes, you
I
interviewed
sent you
me,
that
Tiana
document
Edmond.
like
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
weeks ago,
you-
right?
Yeah.
Pull up the videos. I'm right there standing in a big white XT talking to you. You were talking to me, Kiana, and also
So-
Reed, who was the
That's how I
director
know this dude.
of
Damn,
Final Phase.
forever.
Shit, man,
Yeah,
y'all
he
giving
came
me
out to
chills.
106. We threw a
We
block
came
party.
to the
and he came out,
neighborhood.
you
We
know what
took,
I'm saying?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
a whole
No,
block
we
We
came
party.
came out
Whole
to 106
block
and
party.
everything.
Yo,
We came
and
out to the
everybody
block.
came
We had
out.
everybody
It's
out
bro,
there.
that's what we
Yes,
do. Like it's a
yes.
whole thing. Hey,
Yes.
thank you so much for
And it's so
even
funny.
calling in.
It's
Yo.
so funny how the world works.
Man,
It's so
Yeah.
funny how the world works because Chris Minto, his brother, and I are best friends. And I came out to Taylor's party the other night, and that party is what Chicago is all about.
okay.
It's all about not the drill music. Chicago's been painted a bad picture with the drill music, but Taylor has a unique opportunity to change the narrative in Chicago with this Juke culture.
And
He has it.
I
He has the
appreciate it,
opportunity
man. And we taking
to be
juke
able to get
music.
these kids out of the street and stop killing each other by way of getting back to juking. You have that opportunity, bro, and I'm here to help if you need my assistance, bro.
I
By
appreciate
any
you.
means.
Shout out to you, family. Hey, we throwing more juke parties next week. So make sure you slide to the
We
next
gotta
one
pull
too.
up. We're gonna be out there on the
I
18th.
Hey,
definitely
yo,
will
come
come
to
to
the
Chris
juke
Minto.
party, yo.
We're in Chicago, May the 18th.
Oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
throw a big ass juke party for y'all. That's the thing.
Then we would have
That's the
to.
thing.
We got a
We got an
party
event. We have a charity event we're doing
on what day?
May 18th.
That's Sunday.
Yeah, that's
I will
Saturday.
throw a
Is
juke.
that
I just
Saturday?
threw a juke party
Yeah.
on
Is
Thursday.
that Saturday?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
Saturday.
maybe Saturday night.
I will throw a juke party for sure on Saturday night.
night.
agree. Get her to agree.
Well,
I
I'm
already
there.
said I'm gonna
I
be
will
there.
there.
Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday
I
night.
just had to lock in.
I'm free
We locked
after.
in.
I'm free after 10 o'clock.
Hey, Ryan, you a citizen, man.
That's
Thank
late
you,
in the
brother.
morning.
Hey, Ryan, I do. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
see, it's what he's speaking about is 18 years ago. We took MTV, and we used to do a
Yep.
series called My Block,
Right.
and we wanted to do exactly what
I
you're
was
talking
22.
about.
I was 22 years old when you came out and you interviewed us. I was
I
22
can't wait
years
to
old.
look
I'm
back
40
at that
now.
tape, and I'm gonna remember. See,
Man,
I can
look back at that tape. I'm
yeah.
standing right next to you. Big white shirt, Shy-Tainment. We're coming back. Hopefully Taylor just opens up
You know
the
I
door
brought him this
to-
big
for
white
us to
tee
get
too.
these Juke artists out here, man.
Ryan, you know I brought Sway his t-shirt
I got me
too.
a Juke T-shirt.
Straight from the South Side. We
Come
got
on.
an
Come
airbrush.
on.
Make America Juke again. This
Make
year.
America Juke
gotta
again.
make-
Come on,
That's
man.
hard.
Come on, I got
That's
that.
So
dope.
when you
That's
come to the Juke
hard.
party, you make sure you
Wear
bring
that
that
on the
out.
night of the
Make sure you
18th,
bring
Sway.
that.
That's perfect.
Make
Straight off
America
the South
Juke
Side,
again,
yes sir.
man.
From the back of the yards.
That's
Yes,
dope.
sir.
Man, and I could juke too, Ryan. Don't stop. Don't get me out.
You
Hey,
doing
hey,
too
I wanna
much.
could
I'm
juke.
gonna pop
You
in
doing
on
too
Saturday.
much.
There we go.
I mean, it's not as fast as King Charles, but yeah, man. Ryan,
Or
hey,
snails.
listen, real quick. We did this docu-series and went inside of Chicago, and we covered juke culture. We went in every neighborhood. I remember interviewing Rhyme Fest in the alley. You know,
Yep.
we wanted to uncover and show everything that made Chicago great. In this docu-series. So I do remember it, bro, and I remember going
And
to
it's
that
all
chicken
about
spot.
timing. You know what's the way?
Yeah.
And that's to cut you off. It's all about timing.
It's all
And
about
right now. At that time, 18 years ago, Chicago was not ready. But now, given all the things that's going on with our youth, Chicago is ready for a change, and this can be the push. So, like, I'm all behind this campaign of making America juke again because it's time.
There you go, my man Ryan. You a super citizen, man.
Sway in the morning.
Good shout out to my good folks, the Shaheem Reeds, the Sean Lees, the Riteshus, the different people who came out. Ramon Dukes for My Block Chicago. We
Right.
did Houston. We did Puerto Rico. We did all these
Memphis.
different
You
places.
did like-
Memphis.
yeah.
That's when I first met Yo Gotti, and people didn't know who Yo Gotti was at that time.
Crazy.
Wow. Man, every time they come here, we usually end up crying.
You be crying.
You know, well, Taylor be crying. He tougher
I
now.
always cry.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
man.
a little bit tougher.
Tougher down, yeah.
No, I was ready to cry as soon as you started the thing, but I told myself, I was like, whatever he starts saying in the first 5 minutes.
Hold on, Taylor. Don't let it.
That's usually when I get him, the first five, and I'm looking
First
at him.
five.
Yeah, let me tell you what else about you to make you great. You know, when the album coming?
Man, the album's coming soon, yo. Me and Chance's album is coming soon.
Y'all doing a joint album or separate?
Separate albums, man. But you know, it's a beautiful thing when it's a family business and then you're also independent. Even like we just mentioned, he dropped the track Buried Alive. I dropped the track Too Much. We released on the same day.
Okay.
So like, you
That's
know,
smart. I like
and
that.
it wasn't like we was like, oh, months and months and months before we're going to do this. It was just like, this is what we want to do. This is how we're going to move. You know, we have the partners lined up and, you know, so it could happen whenever, you know, but I'll say for sure with my music, I'm back to hip hop. And
Okay.
I'm really back,
So-
not just for hip hop, but I'm really back for the throne of this shit.
Oh.
And
shit, okay.
I know it sounds crazy to
They
hear
battling
Taylor
out here. You
talking
sure?
like this.
You gonna have to go through a few
It's
battles.
No, I will say I'm definitely ready to go through all the battles, but secondly, it's two different thrones. So like, you know, like there's like the throne, like niggas is like, yo, I got the. It's more of like, I love hip hop so much and I love music, but my first love of music was hip hop. So it's like emceeing, rapping. Shit, Heather, you know what I'm talking about.
Heather
You know what I'm
B.
saying? Like Heather
All
B,
blocks
like I
down.
really like hip hop. And you guys know there's been so many different hip hop artists like Bianca Shaw that I've worked with. And
Yeah.
I got a passion for it to the point where I understand the impact that it has on us. So I almost, and I know this shit sounds crazy, I don't really feel like I got an option.
Yeah.
You know, like y'all just heard, you know,
Ryan.
Ryan on the phone. I don't think a lot of us feel like we got, you know, like too much, but it's time to do, you know what I'm saying?
It's time to
yeah,
do.
Nah, for
We
sure.
got your back too, Taylor Bennett.
Always.
Hey man, I want to thank y'all for coming up. I normally put you to work. I'm gonna give you a pass today.
Are you
man.
crazy?
Right.
You're out of town.
Right?
You saying you wasn't gonna have me rap?
Huh? Yeah,
That's
I was
crazy.
I was gonna give you a pass.
I know
today.
he lying.
No,
I
I
know he
was gonna
lying.
give you a pass today. I
You at least
I
want
felt
to shout out the people that's
yeah,
on the hold.
you know,
Sway.
we got a lot of people on the hold, man.
Shout them out, Sway.
All right, I want to shout. He don't believe nothing I'm saying. I want to.
I'm like, are you joking?
Basic in Chicago. He said the new record he got is good for Chicago culture. He's talking
Wow.
about Too Much. We're gonna play that momentarily. Mad Dog says congrats on his new song. Dre
Mad
says
Dog.
big him up for making the song.
Wow.
Dre.
Another folks from Chicago. Taylor Bennett is an advocate for Chicago. Shout out to Taylor for doing his thing.
Wow, that's
Man,
dope.
you
Thank
got
you,
you
yo.
got a lot of listen
Beautiful.
Chicago.
I'm
You
telling you,
yeah,
like, it's
stand up for
going
this.
down
Yeah.
right now in Chicago. Like, it is, like, you know, and I'll just say this, too, because I've been on here a lot of times. This is probably, like, the biggest wave of a song that I felt. And I've also, you know, a lot of music you can write, and it's like, I'm writing this because this is how I feel. But I really feel like Chicago is embracing this, and the reason why I made the record was for my city. So every time that we talk about it, I feel honored. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Taylor Bennett, y'all. The song he's talking about, the new single, is Too Much with King Louis and Lala Too Much.
Too much.
Kenny, I want to thank you for those
Yes.
powerful words, man.
Words.
You my brother.
Yes.
You know, and I appreciate it every time, man. And I'm humbled in your presence. And the love that your family has shown me is so pure.
Well, we thank you.
Thank you, man. I still
That's
ain't got
beautiful.
that. I still ain't got the dinner at home yet, but
Man, nobody took you to Africa,
just
bro.
saying, they took
You,
me to Africa, but they didn't,
We
take me
gotta
to the
get
living
you
room.
want chicken over Africa?
Everything.
Hey, no, we could definitely. And it's what's cool is that now that I know that that's what you mean by dinner, I'm super way more fat. Like, let's do that. Come to the crib. I mean, we got amazing food, but you know, going out with your family, it's like, man, we could do this at the crib. bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. What's your favorite place to go out?
In Chicago.
Yeah.
So my favorite place to go get food in Chicago is Harold's Chicken for sure.
That's where we got robbed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Was it because
but no,
not
it's not
Harold's
just
Chicken?
there.
It's just that neighborhood I was. That's
Yeah,
what
I was
that's
gonna
the chicken
say,
spot I was trying to remember. I
My
was
first
in
thought was you could get robbed anywhere.
Yeah, all right.
So I was like,
Okay,
hey,
that has nothing to do with
ducks get
Harold's
plucked.
Chicken. Harold's Chicken is the bomb. Okay.
Yeah, Harold's Chicken is the bomb.
Okay, so that's what you like to eat.
Yeah, for sure. I love Harold's Chicken. I would say like hang out, like where we go out though.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like shout out to the Promontory, like that's a
Mm-hmm.
huge venue on the South Side. It's in Hyde Park. And it's like a lot of different kind of parties that go on there, not just like, you know, specifically African American, but
Hyde
you know,
Park.
there's African nights and, you know, all different kinds of like I know they have some Jamaican
Virtue.
stuff going on there. Yeah, like it's
Virtue in Hyde Park,
yeah, Virtue in Hyde Park.
black-owned,
for
delicious
sure.
food.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I
Yeah.
mean, of course.
Award-winning.
Oh, wait. No, hey, don't get me in trouble. Chicago, home of chicken and waffles.
Chicago home chicken.
I love y'all.
All right. You asked me where I like to go.
Ah, there you
I
go.
like to go.
to the Valley of the Hyenas.
It's rapping.
Let's go.
DB, drop a beat on him. He don't even know what it is. Taylor Bennett.
Give me something.
Turn it up. There
Give
you
me
go.
something. They telling me I gotta give the kids something. Whoa. Yeah. They want to give them motivation, want to give them inspiration, but the man's manipulating everything that I've been saying. Go up, hold up, go up, show enough. I told them niggas that I'm back from the throne. It's off of the dome, invasion is home. I really been grown. I came up off of the show. I'm back with sway. Yes, that's today. And no, I will never pass away or pass it off. I keep rapping off of the top, like my tap slipped off or my hat slipped off. I got a couple different things that I'm trying to say, but I'ma get them out. At the end of the day gon' end. That's what Big Glow steady saying. Shout out to Big Glow, man. I'm Big Glow tan. Every single time that I come through spraying, they know that we collapse and it's tragic. And what happens is magic. I pull it out of the hat. It's a trick. Matter of fact, it's not. It's a wish. If she wanna know, she could get with this. She could get with that, but I don't get with this. You know. They tell lies like Pinocchio. I could tell by the way they poke their nose. They don't wanna talk to me cause they know that I only goes, never froze. But I got 3 kids at home and they love to watch Frozen. They love to like Moana. They like to watch anything. No dramas, but I be straight snapping on this piranhas. And if I put them to sleep, they got on their pajamas. I am a great dad and I stand on that shit. We got Footwork and all the kids need a new mix. They wanna tell us sell drugs, we don't do that shit. Man, I'm counting up money, stupid ass little bitch. I got the money on me and I got the record label LLC. I put it on a calculator. It's a decimator. I meant to say it's way too manipulated. If I crippled them, then I ain't mean to say I really did it. Ooh. Yeah, I'm straight rapping, and then if it's not, then it's still going. I'm flowing. Hey, you know what, Sway? I could keep going, but I actually wrote a specific.
You got a verse you wrote?
For Chicago.
Let's
that
do it.
I gotta do on your show.
You want to do that right now?
Can we do it right now?
Okay. All right. I like that off the top of the head. That's a true freestyle. Heather B, I know you got to go to the next show.
I'm listening.
Oh, you listening? Okay.
The next show is at 6 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
I'm like, I wasn't going to
Let me hear that written. Okay, you got another beat for him, DB?
Chicago, this for you.
I'm
no
having
beat.
fun.
It's just acapella because I want him to hear the words if that's cool with you. So.
Okay, no, I want to. Acapella.
All right, let's get it. Chicago. Kicked out the CTA, smell like weed, I had to walk home. All of the guys live on the street like parents is not home. Smoking on my roof cause my mama left out for Costco's. Then she went to Costco's, I hope she gets some waffles. Cause that shit picked me up from mad insanity. Holding on my own head, run my arms cause you abandoned me. Looking at this TV and looking outside, society's plans for me. Someday stand outside with all the guys, stare at the stars and do they plans for free. Serve drugs and dismantle dreams. I don't wanna know about everything. I'd be scared to go outside. Social anxiety, searching entirely. It's a variety through sobriety. I see necessity all in a recipe. I don't feel special. I need some accessories, especially when I'm that bad. They ain't catching me, testing me, wrestling me. This is my legacy. Something I better be. Greatness ahead of me, death in the back of me. This my anatomy. Took on some felonies, casualties. Hate that I gotta look back at the track and react like it's only some chattering. That shit is shattering. Feels like the dagger is stabbing you harder than ever, but I cannot measure in treachery. You cannot manage my destiny. Aiming a record, some records. It took me a second to get it together, but now it's forever. No matter the weather, my rhetoric better. Matching my happiness with a little cheddar. Trying to progress. I ain't trying to be clever. Cause me and bro just had $1. We love 50-cent cakes and enough money in the world to make somebody feel safe. But there's so much love in the world when somebody fly away that they could take 1 million followers right down to their grave. So I got questions for these labels and they partners that's paid. Have you ever OD'd or lost your partner to a K and now you popping pills today cause you got moves you gotta make? Turn that drill shit louder, can't have a feeling not today. And the real trick is they monetizing every play. From the record that you spend at a jail cell where you lay facts. What if I told you your life was part of a business, and even if you don't rap, somebody gets a percentage? You could work inside the office or work inside of a prison. It all looks like an in-school suspension set. It all feels like we in here pretending. As the clock spins one more time for new beginnings, it's the God in me, man-made time, I don't feel it. Now rock with me one more time if y'all feel it, cause it's way too much love in this world to be concealing. No, it's tough love, like Big said in my city. This rap money don't change lives, it makes a distance. Allows them to present us that's persistence in us submission. Treat us like politicians, elect the views that you sponsor. He ain't turned to a monster, we just been supporting nonsense. Sharing on all our subconscious. How we preach to the Tylers, the internet's influential and infinite out of school. How we gonna have them learning lessons, still figuring out the rules. Who's the real hater if be yourself isn't cool? The independent route gave me many doubts, but I've been in plenty bouts without any clout. The gift I have is words, nerve, and money I could splurge. You see that re-up gave me freedom just like Jay say in his songs. I'm a rapper, not a hustler, don't you ever get that wrong. I flunked out of college sending Gmails of my songs to SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Tidal, all cause I believed I could fly out towards the sunrise to pass my alumni, cause I was always dumb high. Used to run the streets where my ideas could break a treadmill, now my work outstanding. I still get depressed though, the plug still my best friend, the light that sparks up every issue that I lost rest in, still caving my chest in like pirates investments. They lied, the world gets bigger, I'm looking at 3 sons, the tide's gonna rise, but that our Glocks go fee fum, cause one thing I won't be is dead beat in the streets, son. Chicago, the greatest to do
Chicago,
this shit.
stand
We in
up!
New York.
Chicago, stand
We in
up!
New York, Chicago.
The throne! He's headed for the
Outside
throne!
Chicago. I'm
Taylor
coming for the
Bennett.
throne, man. Let's do it.
Taylor Bennett!
Chicago.
I love it. Bars, son.
Bars.
I love you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for seeing us today, man.
Thanks, y'all, for letting
Come
me
on, man.
home.
Kenny, I love you, brother. Let's experience this disc record together.
Let's do it.
All right? Tracy, this is the brand new.
Kendrick Lamar official response to Drake. It's called Euphoria.
Yo, tape our responses.